Sami Zayn is set to main event WWE Elimination Chamber in his hometown of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, challenging Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. However, should Sami Zayn realistically be in the main event of WrestleMania 39 and not Cody Rhodes? Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. And I'm actually traveling today, so I'm not up to date with the latest WWE news. However, I still want to deliver the A1 content that you love and have subscribed to the channel for. Or you might just be checking out the channel for the first time. In that case, welcome. What I want to talk about today is a bit of a broader topic. And it's something that I've been discussing with friends of mine. It's something that I've been seeing on social media recently. And that's this conversation about Sami Zayn and his WrestleMania plans. Because if you saw SmackDown on Friday, if you watched the Royal Rumble last weekend, you would have noticed the biggest thing going on in WWE right now is Sami Zayn. It's this Bloodline storyline. It's Sami Zayn being with the Bloodline for 9 months, working his way into the entire family, trusting him, winning the trust of people like Jey Uso, winning the trust of Paul Heyman, winning the trust of Roman Reigns, and then Kevin Owens getting involved, the Kevin Owens problems, his loyalties being questioned, his loyalties being divided. Eventually, after the Bloodline, or specifically Roman Reigns, defeated Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble to retain his undisputed WWE Universal Championship, the Bloodline continued to beat down on Kevin Owens over and over and over again until Sami Zayn stepped in, said, "Enough, you're done with this." Roman Reigns gives him the steel chair, says, "You're right, this is beneath me, you do it." Sami Zayn refused to attack his best friend with a steel chair, hit Roman Reigns in the back with a chair. The Bloodline attacked him. Sami Zayn is done with the Bloodline. We don't know what's going on with Jey Uso as well. He left the ring in tears. He speculated on social media that he could be done with the Bloodline. It's a really complex and well thought out and gripping story that even Michael Cole said he thinks deserving of an Emmy. I don't know about that. One thing I do know is that it's the most popular thing in WWE right now. However, WWE's got a bit of a problem on their hands because they've already announced what the main event of WrestleMania is going to be. Cody Rhodes won the men's Royal Rumble match. Now, he won that match and the subsequent episode of Monday Night Raw, the first Raw he had been on since his torn pectoral injury that he suffered going into Hell in a Cell, and then he was written off the television after being attacked by Seth Rollins. He appeared on Raw and he said, at WrestleMania, I'm challenging Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So we know what the main event of WrestleMania is going to be. We also know, because of what happened on SmackDown this week, that we are going to get the match that was heavily speculated the moment that Elimination Chamber was announced to be taking place in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. That is that the main event of Elimination Chamber will be Roman Reigns defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Sami Zayn. The problem is Sami Zayn is not going to win that match. We know he's not going to win that match. Now, whilst it's going to be a fantastic moment, whilst it's going to be one of these moments that is going to be iconic, I think, in WWE history, as in the Sami Zayn reception, the atmosphere, the reaction, all that kind of stuff. What happens when Sami Zayn loses that match? Because WWE has already shown their hand. They've already said that Sami Zayn is not going to be the main event of WrestleMania. It's going to be Reigns versus Rhodes. It's going to be what the company wants. And there is a feeling and a discussion that WWE might be in a similar situation to what they had with Daniel Bryan in 2014. Now, it's interesting because Sami Zayn spoke about this when he did an interview with Ariel Helwani before the Royal Rumble. And he said, well, Ariel Helwani asked him the question, what is going to happen if you don't win the Rumble? Lots of people want to see you win the Rumble. Lots of people want to see you face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Well, lots of people want to see you be the person to end Roman Reigns' record, or certainly modern day record title reign. Of course, Roman Reigns hasn't lost, hasn't been defeated, hasn't been pinned since 2019. He's been the Universal Champion since midway through 2020. 900 days he's been the Universal Champion. And the question has always been, who's going to be the guy to defeat him? And because of how long they've put into this Sami Zayn storyline, because of the popularity of Sami Zayn, because of how well written this storyline has been, it makes sense, and people want it to be Sami. He's the underdog. He's the lovable underdog. And now they've got a situation like with the Royal Rumble in 2014. This is what Ariel Helwani said to him, that people want to see you face Roman Reigns. They want to see you beat Roman Reigns. They want to see you win the championship for the first time. And if you don't win the Rumble, are we going to see a situation like in 2014 where people wanted to see Daniel Bryan win the Royal Rumble, but that wasn't the company's plan. That's not what the company wanted. They wanted Batista to win the Royal Rumble. They wanted Batista to face Randy Orton at the time at WrestleMania, and I think they wanted Batista to win the championship at WrestleMania. That's the main event they wanted. But instead, the crowd didn't want that. The crowd wanted Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the Rumble match. And because of that, Rey Mysterio came out at number 30. The entire crowd booed when Batista won. They hated it. You know what happened. And because of a variety of factors, including CM Punk walking out, and because of Daniel Bryan's popularity, they had to change plans. And they changed plans by having Daniel Bryan face Triple H at WrestleMania. They changed that match to involve that whoever won would get into the main event of WrestleMania. And that's what happened. Daniel Bryan defeated Triple H. He entered the main event of WrestleMania. He won the World Heavyweight Championship. That was never the plan. That was never the intention. The actual real intention was for Daniel Bryan to face Sheamus at that year's WrestleMania. Yeah, it's wild. It really is wild. So does WWE have a similar situation this year where, again, Sami Zayn, he's the most popular guy. He's the guy people want to see defeat Roman Reigns. And does it make the most sense when it comes to the story? My answer is yes. It does make the most sense when it comes to the Sami Zayn story. Think about it. What's the ending of the story? What's the ending of the story here? What's the story you're trying to tell? The story that makes the most sense to me is a guy that came in, was an affiliate of the Bloodline for a little time, won over the respect, won over the trust of all of the members of the Bloodline. When he came in, was never a credible threat to be the guy to defeat Roman Reigns. No one would have ever thought about that. But over time, he grew. He became more popular. He became more over. People believed in him. People, grew to have this admiration for him. They grew to like him. And then he defends his friend. He does the right thing. Kevin Owens the whole time is saying, you can't trust the Bloodline. You're not a part of the Bloodline. They're not your family. You can't trust them. And eventually he's proven right. And Sami Zayn does the right thing and sticks up for his friend, defends his friend. And they turn on him just like Kevin Owens said they would. And you're telling me the ending of that story is that he loses? He loses in his hometown because that's what's going to happen. He's going to lose against Roman Reigns in Montreal. That's the big conclusion of this story when it comes to Roman Reigns. Now, you could say, well, no, because that's not going to be the ending of the story, Owen. There's an epilogue involved here. And the epilogue is that Jey Uso, who appears conflicted, he's going to cost Sami Zayn the Undisputed Universal Championship, and then Sami Zayn's going to be so angry at Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso that he and Kevin Owens challenges the Usos for the Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. That's the ending of the story. Sami and Kevin win the Tag Team titles for the first time. They do it at WrestleMania, and that's the big thing. And I say that's not a good enough ending, and I don't think that's the ending that people want. No disrespect to the Tag Team Championships, because we always want Tag Team titles to be taken more seriously. We always want Tag Team Wrestling to be taken more seriously, and the Usos have had a fantastic reign as Tag Team Champions, one of the longest reigning, I think, Tag Team Champions the longest reigning Tag Team Champions in WWE history. It's a historic record-breaking reign. At the same time, Tag Team Wrestling is not as big as the Universal or Undisputed Universal Championship. It's not as big as the main event. The tag titles aren't going to main event one of the nights of WrestleMania. It's just not enough. It's not big enough. And given the popularity of Sami Zayn right now, would you really relegate him into the tag team title picture after he loses to Roman Reigns? What's all of this time been for? All of this time, all of this story, Sami Zayn, the Bloodline, has been to build up to a tag title match at WrestleMania. That ain't good enough. I don't think the crowd wants that. I think they want to see Sami Zayn be the guy to defeat Roman Reigns. So how do they get there? That's the question. Do we see what we have seen in recent years, what we saw back in 2014 at WrestleMania 30, which ended up a singles match turning into a triple threat match? It was going to be Randy Orton versus Batista. Instead, it became Randy Orton versus Batista versus Daniel Bryan. Do we see what happened in 2021, where it was meant to be Roman Reigns versus Edge? Instead, it became Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. And the match got better because instead of being Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, do we see Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes? And do we see Sami Zayn close WrestleMania as the Undisputed Universal Champion? There was a recent report that said Vince McMahon and Triple H didn't see Sami Zayn as a WrestleMania headliner, but at one point they didn't see Daniel Bryan as a WrestleMania headliner, and he's main evented WrestleMania twice. So certainly anything's possible when it comes to Sami Zayn. My concern is, as I mentioned before, that whatever WWE had planned, and I do truly believe that the plan for the longest time was to do what they're doing right now, was for Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble. I think ideally they probably wanted The Rock or maybe Steve Austin to face Roman Reigns, but the option, because they're not available, because they said no, because they turned down wrestling at WrestleMania, it became, okay, we're going with Cody versus Roman. And that's been something that people had speculated, and I'm sure, to be honest, that was the working plan, or one of the options of the working plan for quite a while. Triple H said it in a recent interview when he took over WWE's creative around the time of SummerSlam. After that event, the first thing he said was, what do we want to do going into WrestleMania? And it was clear the thing they wanted to do going into WrestleMania was Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, amongst other things, if it couldn't be worked out. I don't think they ever intended Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns to take place at WrestleMania. I don't think they ever thought this was going to get as popular as it's gotten. And this is going to be the real key thing with the Triple H regime. Is he going to have the ability to be flexible, or is he going to be like Vince McMahon and stubborn? And as stubborn as Vince McMahon was when it comes to creative, and as many bad decisions as he made when it came to WWE creative, in those incidences, maybe not so much in 2021, I'm not sure if it really needed it, but particularly in 2014 where it did need it, is Triple H going to be flexible enough to make the change and say, you know what? I know it wasn't the plan, and I know, Cody, you've worked your way back from injury, and I know you won the Royal Rumble and all that kind of stuff, but it's Sami's year. And this is something that CM Punk mentioned in his infamous Art of Wrestling interview of Colt Cabana all the way back in 2014 when he said that it was Daniel Bryan's year that year. Everybody knew it was Daniel Bryan's year. And it's kind of the case right now, is you can dress it up in Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania and Cody Rhodes coming back from injury and all that kind of stuff, and maybe it felt like it was Cody's year, especially making the jump from AEW last year and getting hurt in his recovery. But what WWE didn't plan on was that during Rhodes' recovery, Sami Zayn became the most popular babyface, I think, on the roster right now. Those are the plain cold facts. Sami Zayn is the most popular babyface, the most popular act in WWE right now, and he's been part of the most popular and widely seen segments in a long time with the reaction at the Rumble. That pop when Sami Zayn hit Roman Reigns in the back with the steel chair is one of the loudest pops in the last decade. It truly is. And for WWE to acknowledge that, pun intended, and then just say, okay, but we're going to go with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, and Sami, you're going to be challenging for the tag title, seems to me like a massive waste. And you know the audience. You know the modern-day pro wrestling audience. If they don't like what they're given, they'll let you know. And I don't think WWE wants to get themselves into a situation where there's all this outrage, because as I've said, I don't think a tag team championship match will be enough. I think they'll want to see more. Now, they could go in a thing where they pivot and they say, I don't know, because again, Sami Zayn's not winning at Elimination Chamber. That's the thing. If Roman Reigns is going to drop the championship, it's going to be at WrestleMania. And what's that reaction going to be like? Are they going to do another Montreal screw job? And is that how Sami Zayn's going to get in to WrestleMania? I mean, another example of Vince McMahon pivoting when it comes to the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, 2019, WrestleMania 35. It was meant to be Daniel Bryan. He's always involved. It was meant to be Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens. That was the plan. And then what happened? Kofi Kingston got over. Kofi Kingston became popular. It was Kofi's moment. It was Kofi's year. And they decided to pivot. Kofi Mania happened. He won the WWE Championship. That was never the plan, but it's what the fans wanted. It's what the fans needed. And it's what the fans told WWE. It's the only thing we're going to accept. And my feeling is right now is that this is where it's heading with Sami Zayn. And the Montreal match, the match at Elimination Chamber, that isn't going to be enough. It's not going to be just enough to see Zayn versus Roman Reigns in the match and have Zayn lose and go, wow, you had the match. We never thought he'd main event a pay-per-view against Roman Reigns. Fantastic. Right, let's see Cody versus Roman. No, people don't want that. What people want is the moment. They want the moment of Sami Zayn holding up both championships at WrestleMania. That's really what people want. That's what they want to see. And they're not going to get that at the Elimination Chamber. Are they going to get it at WrestleMania? I don't know at this point. I really, truly don't know, because I don't know how they get there. Unless they pivot, unless they have controversy, close Montreal once again, and then in the weeks building up to WrestleMania, they decide that they're going to go in a different direction, and they say they have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens jump through hoops or whatever. What does that mean for Cody Rhodes? What does that mean about his return? Would he get annoyed by that? WWE's paying Cody Rhodes a lot of money too. But do they do what's best for business, or do they do what they promise Cody Rhodes as well? I really, really don't know. That's the key thing in this one. And I don't think this one has been determined just yet. And I think as we get closer to WrestleMania, as we come out of Elimination Chamber as well, I think this conversation, this discourse about this very subject is going to rear its head quite more often. And it's going to be fascinating to see what happens. So there you go, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Should Sami Zayn be in the main event of WrestleMania 39? Should he be the one to end Roman Reigns' record Universal Championship reign? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to smash the like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.